One thing I wanted to ask you is you're really kind of knee deep in the vaccine discussions. How do you address people who are still hesitant to getting the vaccine?
At this point, I really encourage people who are vaccinated that if they have family or friends that are not vaccinated, that they really take their personal safety and the safety of their families first. And they tell them if they are not comfortable spending time together because they're not vaccinated, that that's okay. There's many other things in our lives that we have to make choices every day about safety for ourselves and our families. And this certainly is one of them. And I think it's important for people to know that this is a very real risk that you are putting people at if you're not vaccinated at this point. Just yesterday, I heard a story from a friend of mine that was just devastating. Her grandma is in the hospital right now dying of COVID. And this is in southern Minnesota. And her grandma went to a church function, and her grandma was vaccinated. She went to a church function, and there was a number of individuals there that were not vaccinated. And it turned out that several actually were sick with symptoms of COVID and came to the function anyway. And so her grandma, unfortunately, is one of those breakthrough cases. It's rare, but it does happen. And so because her grandma is elderly, it's been impossible for her to get an ICU bed. ICU beds, as we've talked about, are very precious and scarce, and so she is not going to be able to get that next level of care. And so she very likely will pass away due to COVID. And it's very sad because I think in our society we might say, well, our elderly, they've lived a long life. But when it's your grandparent and they might have had another 3-5 years of life ahead of them, that right now is being taken away because of COVID and because of somebody's decision not to get vaccinated, that's very real. And so this risk is real, and I think it's important for people to know that it's okay to say what you're comfortable and not. And if people are not vaccinated yet in your circles, to feel free to say that. So you're doing the right thing to protect yourself and the people around you that you might be exposing in the future. I think that that's going to be really the most effective thing, one of the most effective things moving forward, besides mandates. We know mandates are coming for many areas, but for the rest of us, I think it's okay to say, in our personal lives, what you're okay with and what you're not.